reputation at other universities across the province.
Member for Calgary Southeast.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pipelines are on the minds of many Albertans, and with good reason. Our inability to get our energy products to market efficiently has resulted in a $50 discount per barrel. That means less money for companies, employees, and government programs. The problem has become so bad that we're now seeing an increasing amount of oil shipped not just by rail, but also by truck. This shows just how desperate companies are to get their product moving. To the Deputy Premier, we're years away from adequate pipeline capacity, so what are you doing in the short term to get this product to more markets?
The Honourable Minister of Environment and Parks.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And of course, the Premier very recently was quite clear that we need some action from the federal government with respect to rail capacity, and we will certainly look at our options as well on the provincial side of the House. And another piece of this is, of course, there is a knock-on effect for any time you have more demand for rail capacity, then you have issues related to the transportation of agricultural products to market as well. So that's also bad for Alberta, Mr. Speaker. There's more to talk about in terms of getting better value for our resources, which I am sure I will be pleased to share with the House in the supplementals.
First supplemental.
Given that shipping oil by pipeline is by far the safest method of transportation, and given that depressed prices and bottleneck transportation means more and more oil be shipped by train and by truck, and given that more oil being shipped by alternative methods carries additional risks to both the environment and public safety, to the same minister, what are you doing to ensure that increased use of non-pipeline transportation isn't posing additional risks to the environment and our public?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and that's precisely why we need cooperation from the federal government on this matter of rail transportation, because that is in fact a federally regulated matter, and they too have a responsibility to ensure that Albertans get best price for our resources, that our resources can get to market, because we are in fact a country, not a collection of villages or provinces, but rail capacity is fundamental to who we are as Canadians. So definitely the feds need to step up. But in the meantime, there are a number of other things that we can do as a province, including getting better value for our resources here at home.
Second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that many Albertans would be surprised to learn how much oil is moving by truck, and given that the Alberta government and the people of Alberta would benefit from a better understanding of exactly where our oil is going and why, and given that knowing which destination and methods of transportation deliver the most benefit to Albertans helps us plan for the future, to the same minister, will you provide this House with a detailed breakdown of where our oil is going currently and where we would like it to go?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I do believe that much of the information that the honourable member is seeking is available either through the Department of Energy or the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers website. There's a number of different analyses out there. At the end of the day, the fact of the matter is that pipeline is the safest, that through our government's efforts we've gone from 4 in 10 Canadians appreciating this matter to 7 in 10 now. We've also secured the approval of 2 pipelines. Of course, Trans Mountain has been in the headlines a lot, but Line 3, Mr. Speaker, is moving along and has actually gotten some of its Minnesota-based regulatory approvals, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member Calgary Fish Creek.